great assessment for this one. Really highlights the issues that are going on causing the back pain. You lie face down, pull one knee up, and then try and lift the knee off the ground. And this tells you a lot. You might find that you rock and lift your whole pelvis up, or you might find you can do it and you're...
So do you extend your leg out first and then bend your knee? What are we doing exactly?
Just start lying there, bend your knee, and then just try and lift that knee off. So if you've got really tight hips, then you're going to find that your pelvis comes off. If you don't have the tight quad, you get a little bit of a raise. Just try and hold it a little bit and hold it for 30 seconds.
Yeah, my left leg's not... Yeah, but my right leg seems to be better, which is interesting.
Hold it for 30 seconds. And then you might feel some sensations eventually. So if it's in your hamstring or your back, then the glute's not working. Yeah. So imagine when you're walking, you try and propel yourself forward, you're using your back just like this, exercise, instead of the glute. So really,
the hamstring's starting to feel like it's under strain.
So the glute's meant to be doing its job. So again, if you're
Interesting. Yeah, I can't. This one here, I can't keep it up there. I have to actually push with this leg to make this leg stay up.
yeah.
It's like,
Not-
I have to
it's
hold
not
this one off
doing
the ground.
anything.
Yeah, it's not
No
engaging,
strain.
it's nothing.
Mm.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So if your hamstrings are doing all the work, when they stay tight and give you tight hamstrings, which makes it hard to bend forward, and if you are using your back, then you just get a sore back. And so they say it's all about your core, make your core strong, core. But if you pull your belly button back, you need your glutes to engage to actually do some benefit. So to try and get them engaged, just don't worry about bending your leg, and just like swimming, just try and kick that leg up, straight leg, and hold it and squeeze. Same with all your exercises. You inhale and exhale and squeeze for the out breath. Really try and feel that muscle engage and squeeze it, and then relax. So use a nice slow breath to control the tempo of your exercises. You're really trying to bring that intention into your glute to activate. So this would be very early stages of glute activation. Getting a glute burn,
Yep.
feeling them, getting active. Fantastic.
I do fatigue in my lower back too, though, a little bit. Like my lower back muscles feel it a little bit as well.
Yeah,
And my hamstring, so I don't know if I'm isolating it.
especially on that left side. Yeah, so it's one way to start. You start feeling that back pain, so then we'll move on to other glute exercises to help out with your lower back.
Like when I now stretch my lower back a little bit, I touch my pelvis, it feels like a little bit, not overly painful, but
Better.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that's the same situation when you're standing, you're trying to roll it back. We can have a little, you did the hands and knees. This one gets a little bit more advanced. Are you alright to come up on your elbows, Danny? Or is that, you're flexible? Yeah. Good. So this is another position. This is another classic example. I'll try and demonstrate without hurting. But they go into the plank and you've got this big butt sticking out. And so all the vertebrae are jammed up, and they say plank for longer to help you back. But we want to extend that vertebrae and really pull the belly button in and get hollow to actually use your core instead of just all the outer unit. So to practice that, you start simply lying right down, and as you exhale, we want to see nothing change. Not even the butt, I just want to see anything change. But you feel your belt buckle, as you exhale, just lift off the floor. And so not even not even your back lift up or you shouldn't feel your back move at all. You're just trying to draw your belt buckle to your spine. That's a pretty important way to explain it. I did it for years, really trying to be aggressive and bend my lower back the other way. And then when you're lifting, you don't want to pull your belly button in so you've got a round back. You just want your spine and your belt buckle to come closer. And so your core is like a little waist belt inside, tightening up. And then there are these really fine muscles through here called the myofibers, and they need to trigger before the big muscles in your back. And so I read a little bit onto that and went, oh, that's great. And then I asked a physio, I said, well, how do I get that to happen? And they said, by activating the core, your myofibers should engage, unless it's pretty severe. So the core movement helps fire up the small muscles in your back before the greater unit does. So how's that going? You feeling that one?
Yeah.
And so
I don't think I'm moving when I'm doing it. It's one of those things, isn't it, Ellen?
Yeah. To take it further, if you come up with your back first and then a big bend in your lower back, it hurts. So we're trying to keep those shoulders down from your ears, nice and relaxed. Exhale from below the belly button and then keep pulling up into a plank there, and then come back down before you inhale. Inhale in a safe place. Lift those collarbones up, exhale. So imagine there's a string going right through me, tied to my belt buckle, and there's an exhale. And pulling on that string. Feeling it now? The muscle or the back?
Feeling it in my back engaging a little, going around the sides. But again, I'd have to train my body because I used to be able to plank for 5 minutes before my accident. What?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know. So trying to, yeah, I know. How's it going? So,
yeah,
you know,
like so people can plank for
right
ages.
Muscles.
Yeah, that's it. People can plank for ages and they're just jamming up. Until you have an issue, you don't really appreciate that you're not rocking your pelvis back, but simply just jamming up all the outer unit, and your lower back can take it for so long.
I'm feeling a little bit there, but it's not tight.
Feeling the core muscle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ideal, yeah. Feeling that better? Good. When you really do it and you hold that muscle, it's like 8 to 30 seconds regularly by coming from I learned this approach from the pelvic floor seminar, and they say you can really hold that muscle well for like 8 to 30 seconds.
Before it just
Or no, 8 to 12 seconds I should say, really just
gives in, really.
just that long exhale, and then you can't, before you run out of air.
It's like engaging the pelvic floor, you can only hold it for 10 seconds, like, effectively. Then it just doesn't want to do it anymore.
Oh, Liz.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you? You see my my notice? I made a bit of an error. The website, the Facebook, cut the camera. The Facebook said 11:30, and then the booking said 10:30. So,
Do you want me to hang out?
yeah, hang out for sure.
Okay.
I'm even doing some video, so if you want to help out, it's more about me because I explain things to the group better than I do to myself. It's yeah, that'd be handy. Some shots of me explaining stuff. How you going, Melly?
Having a stretch out in my neck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's just feeling it a bit after. It's not used to using my arm properly.
Oh yeah. So flip on over. We'll go to the bridge, or if you want to stay in that position and watch the demonstration. So bridging's great, and again, people use the back and they go right up like this. So we're going to learn using your hands to monitor what your core's doing. So quite often you see people going for a walk, again the walking or the running, and the hips are going like this. going off, and they're tilted this way. So you take your thumb on your rib cage and your pinky on your hip bones, and you feel them come closer. And so when you go doing your exercises, you use your hip in your hand. There'll be a little bit of movement, but you can feel there's not too much, and you can also feel that they're not opening right up. So with your bridge, you're going to lift your chest up, and then exhale, feel your hip bones come a little bit closer, and then pushing into your heels, you feel your hips come up. So at the top, you don't want to feel your hips tilted forward, but tip back and close to your ribs. Same thing, you're inhaling to lift your collarbones up, exhale, squeeze the air out from below your belly button, drive on up. Now you can imagine where we were testing for tight hips, if they're tight there or you felt a stretch when you're at 180 degrees, you'd imagine that you're not really going to go past, your hips aren't really going to go much higher than your knees. So if you push on past there, you just start to go into your lower back. And with a little bit of pressure going outwards, it's the other job of your glute is to rotate your knee out. And so simply by putting a little bit of force that way is a way to make sure your glutes are engaging. Whereas when we were on the floor before, just trying to push your heel up, sometimes hard to get it engaged. So you can put your heels nice and close together and keep your knees slightly wider than your feet. And then this way, you've just got that outward resistance, and you should feel your glutes a little bit more.
So what am I supposed to be engaging when I do this one, the bridge?
Glutes.
The glutes.
And your mind. That's it, keep pushing up a little bit. Up, up, up. Feel them now?
Yeah, a little. Yeah, I think so.
So, quite a simple exercise and really easy to do and really easy to do wrong. You can thrash away, you can do as many as you can in a minute, you can go as hard as fast as possible, or you can use your breath to control the tempo and really hold it up there and squeeze.
I think I'm just using my glutes, I don't think I'm engaging anything else.
Just your glutes?
I think so.
That's great. That's perfect. Are you worried you're not feeling your core as much?
Yeah, because I guess I'm used to feeling my core when I do this previously. So it's interesting just focusing on one muscle group.
Yep. But think about this. You're trying to rock those hips back. So you should feel the core going that way and your glutes going that way. So there should be...
That little bit of resistance right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be working pretty well together, yeah.
Yeah. How long are you supposed to hold this one for?
Just each breath.
Oh, okay, I've been up there for ages.
That's all good too. Yeah, you can hold it, you can do other things. You can hold it and start to lift one leg. But for now, I'll just go on the exhale. Go up on the exhale and go down on the inhale. And then if you've got a tight back and you want to start loosening up, you start to inhale into each vertebrae. So as you inhale, you feel one vertebrae at a time coming back down a touchdown.
I can feel it right through my back. It's
hurting or
yeah.
pretty sore?
Not bad, but
Just
really
some
feel
sensation.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine each vertebrae at a time. You exhale, rolling off, and you inhale, rolling back down. Going with the breath, Lisa. Or good exhale, squeeze it out from below your belly button. Good. Is it 11:30 already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's a lot of activation positions, and then we've got into the glute and the mobility. Especially in your lower back, the mobility side of it is the tightness in your hip and the engagement into your glute. So you took kind of a half in breath at the top. Get there. And that, as soon as you did that, you can see your ribs flare up.